Welcome
How am I
back.
enjoyed it.
Welcome back to the Jagged Edge show with John and Javal. How are you doing today, sir?
Um, Life is good. You know what I mean?
Life is very good. Life is
We've
very good.
we got the schedule released, so really excited. Shout out to the Jag social media team, I guess, for just coming completely out of left field. And they're like, you know what we should do for a schedule release video? An 8-minute comedy sketch. And you know what? That was amazing. So
Shout out
shout out,
Jaguars. Shout out Asher Grodman.
shout out. No, dude, that was so random. Like I didn't even get to see the full thing on time because like I was out eating really good burrito tacos, by the way. And then I saw like the brief message. I was like, why is their schedule this video 8 minutes? I was so confused. And then I sat down and watched it, and I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. So shout out to that. Wow. Dude, it was so funny.
it was great, man. Just especially since Jag players are playing along with the whole sketch too. That's just
Dude,
as
not even
and
just the players,
yeah,
but dude,
ownership and cutting
Doug and
and
Shad Khan
Doug.
were
Yeah,
hilarious. Those are the dude. Doug saying that, the Lombardi's great, but an Emmy, that was so funny. And then the
it's
mustache
heavier.
bit. Shad fit into that so well. Man, that was
Definitely.
so fun. I'm not gonna Doug Pug Dieterson.
Pug Dieterson.
I can't
Pug
believe
Dieterson.
that was so fun. Like that the Jags really did not have to do that. And they were just like, hell yeah, let's do it. Why not? I love it, bro. That was hilarious.
Man, they're having fun with it, which is like so much of a far cry from what it's been in the past, I guess. Let's hope that it continues on to September onwards.
I mean, hey man, the vibes are good. I get good vibes. I guess that's the thing. It's like with 2018, I mean, Doug Marone was okay, but yeah, that Coughlin influence, not good vibes. Doug Peterson, good vibes. So,
Definitely good
but man,
vibes.
the schedule video was just it was so funny, especially and so cool just seeing the players like for like off-season content. You just got to see the players having fun. Like it was so funny. Cisco, man, I wish I could see Cisco's comedy act. I feel like it would have been really funny actually. He seems like a funny person.
He definitely does.
I think that Cisco's my favorite locker room personality.
He has to, and he's embraced the city. He like wears the throwback stuff all the time too. If you go look at anything that he's like posts on Instagram or even the video, he's just wearing a bunch of 95 throwback stuff in the
It
video.
was
It's great.
crazy. I just remember like preseason scouting when he played at Syracuse, and I was like, where we needed a safety who can make plays on football, and I was talking about Cisco at Syracuse and how he was a playmaker, and I was like, oh, that's the kind of guy the Jags need, and they actually drafted him, and I was like, wow, this is actually exciting. They drafted a player I liked at a position of need, and
Then
then
it
he's
actually worked out. It's not like Laviska
I know
Shenault in
it's
2020,
crazy.
where like half the time was like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. Then he kind of, fucking peaked 1 year into his Jaguar career. And
Yeah,
that
it's
was
I don't know.
that.
Cisco's. I think he's a fun guy to root for because he's pretty good. Like I feel like obviously when he played, you know, he flashed his rookie year, and then the coaching staff like just started him. Like he won the job from camp, so everybody knew he was going to play a lot, and they played like how he expected. And I was like, oh wow, this is what we expected. Like it's hopeful to see. I'm just excited for, year three of just everybody. Year three of Cisco and Tyson, man. And seeing Tyson in the schedule video too was really funny.
Of
Well,
course.
when he got blocked by Agnew, and then
Oh yeah.
he was like, "Oh, I'm just acting, coach." That was shout out to I don't yeah, it was just really fun and seeing the young guys. It's just good vibes. So it's hard not to be excited from seeing a comedy sketch. You feel good vibes, and that's what matters. That's
yeah,
how like the playoff demon, the bad demons are being exercised.
exactly. But we gotta turn those good vibes into W's. And speaking of W's, let's go through the schedule as briefly as we can. So we'll just note some of the more important games on the schedule. Our first game of the year will be at Indianapolis and on Fox. Like,
Is Anthony
huh?
Richardson starting? Or is it going to be Gardner Minshew? Either way, it's going to be hilarious.
It's going to be Anthony
Either outcome
Richardson.
is going to be hilarious. I mean,
Yeah,
if it's Anthony Richardson, honestly, I'm kind of going to be annoyed just because
he's
I don't
gonna
know how.
have How many read options are they going to call that game? Is going to be fucking stupid with him and Jonathan Taylor. It could be because it's week one. They could definitely catch us off guard.
I
I'm
feel
not
yeah, they're gonna do
calling
something.
that
They could
easy.
do something weird just because of Richardson. If it's Gardner Minshew, it's going to be hilarious. If it was Gardner Minshew in Jacksonville week one, that would be 10 times funnier. I actually
No,
feel that would
yeah,
for some reason
definitely.
be like I honestly feel like that would be like a revenge game in a way. Like the Colts would just play on fire. Like how the Jags are bad and beat the Colts every year, and then like
Hmm.
the 1 year the Jags become good, they somehow lose to the Colts. Like that would be like a weird if the Jags were to be like pretty
Caught
good,
off guard. Yeah,
but
no,
like
this would.
still
Yeah,
like I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna roll the Colts out just because they're bad, but like on paper, obviously we should. But it is a division game and it's week one and it's a weird
yeah,
division game. So could something stupid happen?
absolutely, absolutely.
I would it would be pretty Jags if we lose to Indy and then beat like Kansas City by like 10, 13 points or something week two. That would
20.
be
Just go all out, all right? We lose to the Colts by like 4, and then we beat Kansas City by 20 week 2 in the home opener or some stupid shit like that.
I really think yeah, going right next to next
Yeah,
week
I mean,
two.
yeah, home opener after the way last season ended, we're going back to the bank against Kansas City.
I'm probably gonna go to that game for
You have
sure
to.
since I have season tickets now.
You have
So
season tickets now. Hell yeah. You're
that's
gonna be
gonna
driving up to
I
Orlando from Orlando to
I
here.
know that
Jesus.
tailgate home opener versus the Chiefs is gonna be crazy. So
You gotta leave at like 6 in the morning, man.
I don't know, but that game's definitely gonna be exciting. I mean, just I know there's definitely gonna be a lot of Chiefs uniforms, obviously, because there's Mahomes,
Don't remind me, don't.
Mahomes munchers are out there, but
Exactly.
we'll
Definitely.
see.
We'll
Week
definitely
three,
see.
week three is the Texans at home again.
That
Um,
should be hopefully a dub. We don't want another 13-6 game like last year. Just
there's no way we
grinder.
score 6 points. Like
I'm
realistic,
not gonna say anything prediction wise, but I just feel like, it gotta be better than last year's game.
I just feel with Doug Peterson alone and Trevor Lawrence both in a third year, like I just keep thinking of what he did in Philadelphia and for Carson Wentz. And Trevor Lawrence is much, much better than Carson Wentz. And if Carson Wentz can have a MVP type year when he was healthy, what can Trevor Lawrence do? Like 6 points.
You'd be
Car-
shocked if he
I,
had a game where he scored 6 points all year, then is what you're trying to say.
I mean, I'm not gonna say obviously nothing can happen because it is like the Jags. So deep down, like I can handle some disappointment, even if an end result we can still be a good team. But it it is Houston. I mean, their defense is getting better. We'll see about Will Anderson, Stingley, Petrie. They've got pieces to be a good defense. Can they hold Jax? Can CJ Stroud? Is he going to turn the ball? Is he going to start? He's probably going to start, right?
Yeah, if you take a quarterback at the top 5 pick these days, I think you gotta start him.
If CJ Stroud in his third start with uh,
Who's he throwing the ball to? Even do
John
you even know?
Mechie,
Mechie,
uh,
yeah. Yeah,
oh, they drafted Tank Dell, who's
they
really
did.
small. I mean, he's quick. Like he's really quick. Tank Dell is interesting. He's really small though, but he's got speed and he can catch. I'm trying to think. He's probably going to be in the slot, so I feel
You just
like
gotta worry about Dameon Pierce, basically.
if we don't have a good slot corner, Tank Dell might go off. Which if we don't have a good slot corner, it's kind of still up in the air right now. So I guess we could still get burned. Damian Pierce, he's good, but well, the Texans O line is not bad, so
Yeah.
I'll give them credit. I
Then we
mean,
get, yeah, we'll just move on. We'll talk about it more detail when we get there. But I don't know
we
why we're stuck on the Texans for so long, even though I think they have an easy shout for second in the division this year, the easy schedule and just so much uncertainty. Maybe they do
I
have
have
a good
no
year,
idea.
for their standards at least.
I have
But
no
then we
idea,
get the
man.
two London games with the Falcons and the Bills. How do you feel about the back-to-back in London?
I mean, it's not two home games, so
That's all that matters. Fuck it. Just
I'm
full
straight. I
send.
mean, Atlanta. Is Desmond Ritter that guy? Atlanta could be a kind of weird game because
Calais Campbell back. We're getting to see him again.
Yeah, I don't think Atlanta's going to be terrible. They can if Desmond Ritter's not bad, then they actually have the pieces to be good. Because I mean, with Bijan and
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts, Drake London's, that's like
No
three.
excuses. Yeah. No excuses for
Like he
Ritter.
doesn't have scrubs, and Arthur Smith is a good coach. Tennessee was a good offense, and their offense wasn't like outside of Derrick Henry, it wasn't like a bunch of superstars, but the offense was still pretty good. So if
Hmm.
Atlanta's offense can still be pretty good, like they're definitely going to be a really good running team.
Yeah.
We'll see. I still think, Desmond Ritter versus Trevor Lawrence.
You're gonna take the quarterback battle every time.
So speaking of quarterback battle at Bills, Trevor Lawrence versus Josh Allen, I think that's going to be a real barometer check. Like that's going to be if it's going to be on a neutral field, which the Bills, we're not playing the Bills in Buffalo, so it's not as cold, so they don't have like a neutral field advantage.
No, yeah. I
We'll see. I
mean,
mean, anything can
staying
happen.
staying a whole week or 2 weeks,
That's going to
basically a
be
whole week in London. That's just
that's
gonna
going to
be
be a
interesting.
barometer game for
Yeah,
either team. I really think. If the
definitely.
Jags can beat the Bills, that can really be the momentum starter that gets the season going.
Definitely. That's what you really want. Because then after that, you're back home and we're have our second game with Indy already. It's out the way. Jim Irsay did it again. I don't know how he keeps doing it.
Yep. Get the Colts October 15th. I think I'll see about going to that game, but we'll see about the Colts.
But
Either way, there's no way. At bare minimum, we're gonna win one game versus the Colts every
yeah,
year. That's just the
it's
way of
just a
law.
guarantee. It is the
So
history of
whether we're good
Jaguar
or we're
Colts.
bad, we're
Yeah,
gonna win a game
yeah.
versus the Colts. You can
It
just
is the
expect that.
history of the Jaguars and Colts. It's gonna be 1-1. It always will
And
be.
then
That's
speaking of a fun game that I think
oh,
a lot of
I'm
people are gonna
going. I don't know.
Thursday
I'm going. I bought a plane ticket yesterday.
Thursday
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 night, New
Thursday night
Orleans
at New
Saints.
Orleans. I'm probably gonna go. I'll get a ticket later. I mean,
Oh shit.
it's pretty far in advance, but
Yeah.
it's New
Well,
Orleans,
hit
so
me up. We can get a place together. I think that'd be awesome.
I'll see. It's definitely I know
Unless
everyone's
you're
gonna
going with
want
the
to New
lady, of
Orleans.
course. Yeah.
I
But
think in the someone's schedule video they had New Orleans on the schedule. Oh, it was the Bears schedule video. Did you see theirs at all or no?
yeah, I did see the Bears one.
They
I had to. They had Seth Rollins. They had a wrestler, so I had to go
they had
look it
Spice
up.
Adams too, dude.
That's true. And Spice Adams, exactly.
Dude, and then they had on the Saints, they had like a beignet. So I'm just thinking of New Orleans getting a beignet. So
Oh, I'm gonna get so fat during that trip, not gonna lie.
and
I'm
then
gonna eat so much.
what do you think about obviously the Jags' chances of? I mean, the Saints
Short
is.
week after like London and then okay, and well,
I
you
mean, the
already
Saints
have a
aren't going to
week.
be
Yeah.
bad, but
Derek
Trevor
Carr.
Lawrence, Derek Carr, quarterback battle.
We
Who are
had
you
that
taking?
last year, and what happened? I mean, come
I
on.
mean,
New
it really
year,
just
new team.
obviously it just depends on how much Trevor Lawrence like grows this next year because in terms of are the Jags going to have a better quarterback in which game?
Yeah,
Most
you
of the
would say
games you
that,
can say
yeah.
yes, out. So if you have the better quarterback and the defense can get some turnovers, you have a good chance to win most of those games. So it's very much a lot of positive matchups, not a lot of games the Jags cannot win. It just depends on
Exactly.
can they. But the next game on my birthday actually at Pittsburgh, on my
Hey, there you go. Yeah, I wouldn't fly to Pittsburgh except for your birthday
on
at
a
least.
Jags birthday win, I feel like they're gonna disappoint me, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna
New
be drunk
era.
either.
We have to
I'm gonna
believe even a little bit.
I'm gonna be drunk either way, so it just
There you
depends
go.
on if I'm going to be
Celebratory drunk or
or
yeah.
sad. I mean, we'll see. I mean, the Steelers, they're not bad, but then again, Trevor Lawrence, Kenny Pickett, and I don't think Kenny Pickett's like a scrub, but
Yeah.
Trevor
It's
Lawrence, Kenny Pickett,
rookie year
quarterback
to second
battle.
year development.
Who
Yeah,
are you
you're gonna
taking?
yeah.
The Steelers, like they have Allen Robinson. Um,
George Pickens, year two will probably be
I'm
pretty good.
still a little bit sad about George Pickens, but hey, he
I
got
know
done
you
quickly.
were on the rooftop for him for sure
Oh man,
last year.
Pickens. I mean, Pickens literally is a dog, but it worked out
Bulldog.
in the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
So, but Steelers, I mean, we'll see. They're an interesting team because the Steelers are just never under 500 ever. Like they keep fighting. So Mike Tomlin just wills that they're gonna be bar minimum 9-8. So they're not gonna be bad because of Mike Tomlin. So that's interesting. Then
Yeah.
next week, bye
Bye
week.
week. Hey,
I
we get
love
to
it.
rest.
Bye week
Let's
right in the middle. It's like
all right.
perfectly
Let's quick fire. What is our record after 8 games through the bye week? What's
after
your
eight
thoughts?
games,
Yeah.
5 to 6 plus wins.
Ooh, you're gonna say 5-3 or 6-2. You gotta choose one.
Ah, I'm 6-2.
6-2? I'll say
I
5-3. I'll be the
it's
pessimist here.
I mean the thing with the Jags, it really all just depends on if they take that leap
Yeah.
and everything is pointing in the direction that they can. So like if you just see what Doug like just looking at history,
Yeah.
you can just
Doug
look back.
Pearson, second year into his Eagles tenure.
Yeah,
First seed, home field advantage. I mean, hey,
they
that's
got
just hey.
hey, they got Alshon Jeffrey, like they added a free agent receiver, and then, their second year quarterback took a massive leap. And let's be real, Trevor Lawrence was better than Carson Wentz. So, like, his Carson's completion percentage was still 60%. Trevor's last year was like 66. So, if that even increases, that could be like 70%, which is scary.
And that's like MVP type of play if he keeps the
That's
touchdowns up.
cerebral.
It
That's
is.
cerebral. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see, man. I don't want to be too excited, but nothing's impossible
Yeah.
if
Good or
we,
bad. That's the NFL though. It could go either way.
yeah,
It
like
could go either way.
I'm definitely letting myself to be a little bit disappointed in the end, but that's what happens when you have expectations. So
Exactly. And then after that, we got the Niners off the bye week at
that's
home.
another game. That's interesting. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, Brock Purdy, who's the better
Or is it
quarterback?
going to be
But
Trey Lance?
I hope it's Trey Lance. I think that's fun. I hope Trey Lance can actually play just because it sucks he got hurt last year.
That's the
I
thing,
was,
though. Who do they go with? And
I
we don't
hope
know
it's
if
Trey
Brock
Lance
Purdy is
for.
sustainable because, they're
I
going to
mean
have a
that
whole
elbow.
year of film. That's the thing.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, the defense is still gonna be really
Yeah,
good.
no, they're
So
still the best all-around roster, I feel like.
the
That isn't
49ers are still gonna be a pain in
a
the ass, but
quarterback.
it is at home, so nothing's impossible. We've seen them beat good teams, like
Yeah. Last
because the
time they were
Jag
here was super annoying, though, because their fan base took over a stadium because that was the Urban Meyer year and we were dog shit. So
not
hopefully
not
not that
not
again.
not as much this time.
Let's hope
We'll
so.
see. And then next week is Tennessee.
You know what?
Um,
Shout out to their social media team as well. Their schedule release video was funny. We won't talk about their team, but their video was I think it was it better than ours,
the
you think?
Titans.
Yeah, there's did
It
you see their
was it
schedule
was
release video?
it was pretty good. No,
It's
I
not
was
original though. That's the thing though.
it's
It's not as
it's
creative.
solid.
Yeah.
Like, the Jags, they definitely broke their back into making that video compared to the Titans. It was
Yeah.
definitely low budget, but it was funny. I'll give them that. Their descriptions for the Jags was pretty funny.
I
So
know.
I can't hate,
Chester Cheetah and what do you call it? Doesn't actually
do they
exist.
doesn't actually exist.
I mean, to be fair, that was us like a
I mean,
decade
hey,
prior.
they
Basically.
just got swept by us last year. So
Exactly.
are we gonna
We
keep
do
the streak
exist.
going?
Eh,
Is it gonna be Ryan Tannehill this time,
I
or
hope
is it
so.
gonna be Will Levis?
I hope so. I
If
do not
we
care.
if we somehow face Richardson, Stroud, and Levis week one, like year one,
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna be really funny.
Yeah, I
Just
know. It'd be 6-0 in the AC South. I know what you're talking about. But I'm not scared. You scared? I'm not scared.
I mean,
I'm
bro,
not.
it's you already like all everyone's trying to play catch up. That's the whole
Exactly.
thing. Everyone's
Everybody
just
took a
trying.
quarterback in our division. They're chasing the Jaguar. It's crazy. No, it's
It's
legit. They win the
it's
Jaguars in Division 1. It's like, fuck it. We gotta get a quarterback now. We can't just let them.
it's so hilarious how the
Yeah.
script just flips, man.
Yeah.
The other script writers, I'll give them that.
Yeah.
That's a really funny joke. Asher Grodman, I give you that
Yeah.
much. But
Now they're chasing
and then
us.
and then next week is at November 26th at Houston. Um,
I
I
mean,
mean
we don't know.
Houston,
Yeah.
another rookie quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, who's better, and
In
then
Houston, though, which is always different. They're not tanking this time.
yeah, I mean they're trying to be good, but the Jags, should still be better. We handled business and like we did beat the crap out of Houston last year. To be fair, they're a
We
different
did.
team, but we're also a different team. We're a better team than the team that beat the crap out of them last year. So
Let's hope we just stack it even more. That's all I can really hope for.
And then the next game is exciting. Monday Night Football. That's right, prime time. Like night football prime time. This is. I
In
used to pray.
Jacksonville,
I
in
used to
Duval,
pray for times like this. Like
yeah,
that's
you and me
special.
both. God
Uh,
bless you for having to drive back to Orlando that same night, though.
I I'm thinking about that one.
Yeah, they're gonna get a hotel for the night, and then
We'll
just
see.
yeah.
Can the Jamar Chase versus Calvin Ridley?
What do you
Jamar
mean?
Chase.
It's Joe Burrow versus Trevor Lawrence, part three,
I
part
f-
three, the third time.
oh,
And
I
Burrow's
forgot
got
they
the
played in
first two games.
college.
Yeah, Burrow got
Hey,
the first one in the NFL
Yeah,
and
Trev
in
might have to up the
the
score.
college.
I mean, we'll see. That's going to be a really good barometer,
Third
similar to
time's
the
the
Bills
charm.
game.
I
Like,
know.
the Chiefs, Bill, like the thing about the Jack schedule is that they play all the playoff teams in the AFC pretty much that like they have to beat in the postseason. If you really look at the schedule,
Oh yeah, for sure. I totally agree with you there.
like it's a really advantageous schedule. Like they have teams that in the division that on paper they have the quarterback matchup over, and then they have the Chiefs, they have the Bills, they have the Bengals. They have the Ravens are going to get to a little bit. Like, all the playoff teams outside of like the Chargers
Yeah,
that naturally they're going to get face in the playoffs. So it's a barometer for every game. You get to already have a game plan in mind. You get to adapt
absolutely.
and you get to, if the Jags even somehow get even stronger, like, more on fire down the stretch, we'll see, man. Anything's possible. It's really
Definitely.
exciting. So it's a great schedule. Um, and
In
then
between
after
another primetime game at home, we have the Browns.
at Cleveland. So
Deshaun Watson is a rapist, and I hope we sack him 20 times.
we have one of the greatest Clemson quarterbacks ever, and some
And a
random
rapist.
and well, let's be nice. Let's be nice. I mean, you're not wrong, but you
Yeah,
have to
I mean,
say it now.
rapist. I don't know how he's in the league. Jimmy Haslam, what the fuck? I don't know. I'm going to full unhinged because Jimmy
I,
Haslam, what the fuck is this?
I'm not going to stop you yet. I don't condone
Lamar
what he
Jackson
produced
doesn't
on
have a
this
full
podcast.
guaranteed contract because of this motherfucker paying Deshaun
I
Watson a
don't.
full out of any quarterback you're gonna give a fully guaranteed contract to. Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson. Like it pisses me off that the Ravens had to wait to pay Lamar this long because the Browns had to be the most stupid fucking organization in the NFL. I'm not even a Browns fan and it pisses me off. As a human being, it pisses me off.
Do you think just generally he's going to play close weighted in Houston, like
No,
as a general?
it's a Cleveland Browns thing too. It's just the history
Are
of the
they cursed?
Browns.
Are they cursed?
Yes, they
It
are.
would be. It honestly would be very much in line of their history if Deshaun just never tanked it, like he never played any better and just tanked, and they're stuck with that
Because
contract.
the whole thing surrounding around him and just like, any opposing fan base that goes face him now, since he now has a full year, he could go back. I'm not saying I'd be surprised if he goes back to what he was in Houston, but you're gonna have so much animosity towards you. Anytime you walk into an opposing stadium, people are gonna be chanting rapist or whatever, or try to get into your head. And as human psychology shows, nobody ever really truly recovers from that. Tiger never did.
I don't.
That's how I see. I mean, yeah, he's definitely not Tiger Woods, but like no human I feel like will ever come back from that. And he deserves to not fucking be the same guy that he was because of what he allegedly did. But those so many accusations he probably did. I'm just It's
It
not a
would
Matt
very
Ariza
much.
situation. Just
It
a
would
one
very
person.
much be in line with the Browns' history if he was somehow cursed, like because of that, and they're just like with the contract. I feel that would very much be in line.
I
But
didn't mean to go on a full rant, but like this the whole Deshaun thing just pissed me off because it ruined a contract for another quarterback that did deserve it, which is next on the schedule. Lamar Jackson in the Ravens and hopefully Sunday night football. Two home games
some
in a row, two primetime games. What?
dude, a Ravens rematch, that game is going to be that's going to be an exciting game. Um,
Please
obviously
stay healthy,
last.
Lamar. Please
Oh
stop.
yeah,
Yeah, please. No
like
more Greg
this.
Roman though. They're not gonna run him to the ground, I feel
Yeah,
like. He's
no,
gonna pass the
I'm
bar more.
the Ravens offense on paper like should
A
if
lot
Todd
better.
Monken because Todd Monken in Tampa Bay they threw the ball downfield and Lamar can throw the ball downfield and actually has weapons to throw the ball downfield too. Like they
Zay
actually invested.
Flowers, great receiver. Love that pick. Love
Yeah,
that pick.
Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Odell, Mark Andrews is like wow, like they actually are giving Lamar weapons. This is crazy. Like and
Shout
they're
out Josh
having
Oliver. I'm just kidding. No, shout out Josh Oliver.
they actually tried to make changes for Lamar. It's crazy. Like they
Definitely.
did the thing everybody was asking them to do. So I'm pretty excited to see. So Ravens game, that one's gonna be on the barometer, another playoff team. Could be a rematch. So really exciting Sunday night football, prime time. We'll see how that one goes.
And
The next game.
yeah, NFL schedule haters hate us because a lot of us were gonna make it down, and now we don't know anymore because Tampa Bay, Christmas Eve. Will you
Uh
go? Since it's in
I
Tampa.
feel I'm probably going to be I might be home. I
Oh
might
yeah,
be
you're right. You're
I'm
gonna be back home down in South
I
Florida. Crazy.
I so it's going to be Tampa. I mean, who's going to be at quarterback? Trevor
Baker
Lawrence or
Mayfield,
Baker Mayfield?
Kyle
Who's
Trask,
better?
Blaine Gabbert. Oh God,
Nah,
no.
I think Blaine retired.
Did he?
So I think
I
so.
thought that was Henny that retired. I don't think Gabbert
Or all
retired.
right, is I don't even know where Gabbert went, to be honest. Maybe
Let me
he's
look up.
retired. I have no idea. I mean, that's late in the year, so that should be definitely one
He
of the
went to
soft.
Kansas City.
Oh, he
That they
had to
replaced the Jaguar quarterback with
another.
imagine if we knock out Mahomes week 2, I'm gonna kill myself. Because you know
Is
that
it gonna
motherfucker
be
dotting up 3 touchdowns against us.
whoa there, motherfucker? That's gonna be Blaine Gabbert as he gets a touchdown. But
Against the Jaguars week 2 somehow.
yeah. But Tampa, I mean, I feel with the Jags fans, honestly, they could be some a little bit of home field if the Jags are good, and because Tampa, I have no idea. They could be like really bad or kind of like
More competitive.
solid. Yeah, I have no clue because their quarterback, like, is Baker that bad that they're gonna tank and win like 4 games and try to go for the Caleb
Number 1 pick.
Williams?
Yeah.
Or are Todd Bowles is gonna have still a good defense and they're gonna be annoying to play? I have
Which
no idea.
I think it'll probably be the latter, but I've also seen teams built like the Bucks be like 2-15. So fair enough.
It really just depends. Um,
Definitely.
and then the next game we face another young rookie quarterback, not in the division, but at home.
Number 1
Uh,
pick versus number 1
New
pick
Year's Eve, Bryce Young. We'll see how tiny Bryce Young is
in
compared to
person
Trevor.
compared to Trevor. The
Yeah,
handshake at
no.
the end is going to be something.
I mean Carolina, they're interesting team. Another young, kind of where you're about a year ago. I think Frank Reich, obviously, it's not a bad coach.
Definitely
I
not.
don't think Bryce is bad. Just is the size going to limit him at all in the NFL? I have no idea until we see it. But I think he's not in a bad space. Panthers don't have a bad offensive line, which is pretty good. So that's gonna be interesting.
Definitely. Definitely.
And then
Last game of the year. Tennessee, away this time, though.
we beat the Titans at home. We beat the Titans, on the road
Can we sweep them
last
two
year.
years in a row? God, please. We need to do the same to them that they've done to us for like a
If we
decade
sweep the
plus.
Titans 2 years in a row, this team
Please.
has that's the complete hurdle over the mountain.
Yeah.
That's the stamp of yeah, we're built different now than the Jags of the past. So that's going to be interesting, man. Like on paper, there's not a team if the Jags play up to their expectations and what they believe they're capable of. There's not a team they can't beat simply because they can win the quarterback matchup
Definitely.
almost every time. So
We got to see them training camp and on the field. Just got to get here as soon as possible.
I don't want to overreact too much on paper, but just based off how the offense progressed in the postseason,
Yeah.
how more consistent they were, and then being able to obviously bring in Ridley and then just have another
Going toe
year.
to toe with the Chiefs without Ridley and then having him in now. God, please stay
And then
healthy
Trevor
and
just
God
mentally
progress. Yeah.
getting even better, another year in the system. Instead of just having to learn everything, he just has, another year to grow, improve on everything. Not new to him anymore. So that's just another natural improvement. we've seen the natural second year jump from quarterbacks have in Doug Peterson's system before. So if Trevor has that kind of leap with improved weapons, hopefully the offensive line is above average.
Or just average even. Because Trevor gets the ball out quickly regardless. So
Yeah, so I, think that they definitely invest in the offensive line, which
yeah.
is good. Like,
You never
it's
want it not to be invested.
we'll
Whatever
see
they
how
do with Cam
Anton
Robinson,
plays.
yeah.
We'll
Whatever
see
they do
how
with Cam
Anton
Robinson after suspension is over, we'll see.
we'll see how Anton plays as a rookie. But
Yeah.
if Anton plays solid, then
We're good. We're good. Everyone else is the
right.
same basically.
So hopefully he can adjust into playing right tackle. I know he played it for like one game, but if
He
he
can
can,
play. Yeah.
yeah, if you have Anton right tackle, Walker Little left, really exciting. You have two hopefully really good young tackles. Cam Robinson gone next year. You have some more cap room to play with. So I see the door is open, and
Definitely. The window open for you, Javal. Is that window open?
it's just the contract for me. Like
Yeah.
Cam's not terrible, obviously, but that contract is okay. And just based on how Walker Little's played, I we'll see with his health. If he keeps playing healthy, then all the things in college was he just didn't play for a while. But with the Jags, he's been playing pretty good. We'll see how he happens as a starting left tackle. But in college, he was a pretty good starting left tackle. So, and he's played well in the NFL so far. So it's natural to assume he's gonna get better another year with coaching in the system as well. There's just so much young players that with the coaching, you just see a natural improvement because you actually have faith in the coaching staff that they can get good players to play better, which for the first time, we have both.
Definitely. More question marks on the defensive side of the ball more than anything. We just be talking about Peterson and Lawrence and
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know, we'll see what happens because they
the
add another
defense
veteran
is going to
edge rusher
be
that I've been begging, please.
I don't know, man. It sounds like they really are want to go with the young edge rushers, which uh I don't know why. I'm still pretty excited for Abdullah. I think
Oh
if they
yeah.
play him, he I think he could come a similar role to Arden Key. I don't know if he's going to be quite as good. He could be worse, could be
It's a
better.
rookie
He's a
year,
rookie.
so yeah.
But I think
But
you could play him in a similar role.
yeah,
He did rush from the edge sometimes, played from the B gap. He could be a three tech sometimes on third downs as well. I felt he probably, mainly would play the edge sometimes. It might draw back into coverage a little bit as well,
yeah,
but
he was pretty
they could
decent
get
at it at
creative.
Louisville. Yeah.
He could
He's a
play straight.
fun
He could
player.
be just like Arden Key. That's how they use him. We haven't seen how they use him with like the first team defense, so you don't really know, or even the second team, but it's pretty exciting. So, just a lot of questions on the defensive side, nickel wise. We'll still see.
Edge
I
rush
know
side. Run defense should still
they
be okay. But they were decent last year. They re-upped Devon and Roy Robertson Harris. So
I
we'll
don't think
see.
it's going to be a terrible. I think it's just going to be
Bang
an
average.
okay defense that
Yeah.
can get passed on sometimes because the edge rush doesn't get home all the best. But we'll see. It really just depends.
Yeah, we turned pressure into sacks like we did the last like God knows how long. It feels like the question forever for this organization.
I mean, and also with coaching, like Mike Caldwell was a rookie defensive coordinator,
Now got a year
so
in his
you
belt.
just kind of assume that this year he's going to, naturally get a little bit better with
Hmm.
good coaching around him. So if like Caldwell as a coach gets better, that would naturally improve the Jags defense as a whole. But you don't really know that until you see that on the field. So, that's like a maybe could improve across the board because of better coaching, but it's a mystery at this point because you just haven't seen it. So,
Definitely. We'll see it until we won't believe until we see it like we did last year, basically.
okay. So what is your win range? Like 1 to 2 wins for the Jags?
Oh, so like what's the floor? What's the ceiling, basically?
Yes.
I would say the floor is, I mean, if everything goes wrong, the floor I feel like still is around 8 wins, just because for how the division looks like the Jaguars can easily take. I can see them easily, like, maybe the ball doesn't go their way. The offense can stagger because the defense is on the field for way too long. And then, we just don't close out those games against those teams like San Francisco and Baltimore and, Cincinnati. We can drop those games because our defense isn't, up to par to what we thought it was going to be. And I feel like the ceiling can be 12 wins or even 13 because if the Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley just hit the floor running, like 100-yard game immediately off the bat, that can stack up very much throughout the course of the year. Because if Calvin Ridley gets focused on, they can throw to the slot with Christian Kirk, or you can set up the run game with the Travis Etienne, Gator running back Trevor Etienne. But you can set the run game with Etienne, or even Tank Bigsby. Even like I don't know, like can Tank Bigsby get a 100-yard game in his rookie year? Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, man. I mean, I would say in terms of the floor, I want to say just like 10 wins because that's just
Mm.
one more win from last year, which, I feel all things natural. The Jags could put one more game than last year based off natural growth. Like that's not impossible to
That's not
do.
impossible. I was just more on the pessimistic side because, games
Like
need to be
that's like
played.
maybe like injuries, maybe slow starts, things like that, and they get it together at the end of the season and get hot. But that's more of a low end. And then in terms of ceiling, I want to say like 13, 14. It's like just I don't want to obviously be super biased based off history,
Yeah,
but the Eagles went from being 7-9 and Doug Peterson's year one to 13 wins in year two. Like that's a 6-win improvement. If the Jacks can have a similar mindset at considering they overachieved, that they might be even on a further trajectory if possible. It's not impossible to think that they could be a pretty good offense. They have all the pieces. They keep adding pieces like Tank Bigsby and Brenton Strange. So
they
this
could.
offense could be pretty good. And if you have a good offense, if the defense can at least force turnovers, that's the one thing with the Jags defense
They
is that
can. Yeah, that we've
they
seen. They
have
can
a
allow
weird
yards,
they
but
have a weird
yeah,
tendency to get a random turnover out of nowhere. And that does help them win games. So it happened last year. So even if they're kind of mid, if they can, think what is it they had t-shirts for like think turnovers?
yeah, something like that. I know what you're
And they
talking about too.
if they can just think turnovers more, and if we can even be like top 15 in yards allowed, but top 10 in or like top 7 in turnovers, that's not bad. And if
Definitely.
you get more possessions for the offense, that
You,
can
you
win you.
would you would guarantee you that he would score at least 3 points from those drives that they get from turnovers. You'd
You
like at
know,
least a field goal each of them.
if you get turnovers or even like get your own touchdowns, that can be swing a game in your favor. So if you
Always.
can have on paper a pretty good offense with a defense that can get you an extra possession, that'll win. So hold on for a second.
Yeah.
Um but we'll see, man. I'm definitely excited for to see what will happen with the Jack schedule.
Yeah, now that we know where we're at, we're trying to get to September, basically. It's just a countdown to this point. What do you
I
think
mean,
about the stadium talk though? Let's
I have
jump
no
into that.
idea. I
What
I
would
don't
you
keep up.
want? Yeah, but what would you want if you could redesign TIAA Bank Field? What would you personally want? Before foremost, everyone is asking for the one thing though. So
I don't really have been to another stadium, so
yeah.
I
Oh,
guess
you have
something
it.
the
Oh,
Dolphins
okay.
where they have the roof for the fans because the games I've been to, it hasn't been that hot. It's been more. The Titans game was cold.
Yeah, definitely was.
Chargers game was cold, so I was
Definitely
freezing in the
was.
Chargers game. I was fighting for my life,
Oh
just
man.
like the Chargers were. I was just like the Jags were in the first half. I was fighting for my life, but hey, like the Jags in the second half made it in the end. So
Exactly. I
We'll
think we
see
were
for
all
this.
fighting for our life during the tailgate and then the first half of that Chargers game. We were
We'll
all fighting
see.
for our lives.
We'll see for the season, man. But I'm excited. I
Me
will.
too.
I'll catch you later. It's been.
Been a weird one because it's just we don't know. It's almost here. It's almost here. That's a good
I'm just
mentality
ready
to
for
have.
training camp at this point. Ready to see the product on the field.
Let's go to July, man. I want us to go to the Miller Electric Center and
I want
just
to fast
see some
forward. Yep.
football.
I can't wait to see training camp.
All right, guys, it's been another episode of the Jagged Edge with now permanent co-host Javal. And I hope you all have the rest of your day. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. And remember, what does Trevor Lawrence say now that we're gonna adopt? The game's not played on paper. At the end of the day,
That was a cold quote. That
it
was cold.
was. All right. You have a good rest of your day, Javal. Thank you guys for watching.